This is it. The first Future State book I will be covering on this channel. I'm not going to cover all of them, but just the ones I think are interesting to me. And of course, we're going to start with Wonder Woman. Now, here's the thing. I was really excited for this book in particular, I think more so than any of them, just because this character, Yara Fleur, I feel like she is going to be having a bigger presence in the DC universe after this. Obviously, we know like Tim Fox and John will have their roles, but this is like a brand new character, kind of, that is probably going to be connected to a lot of stuff going forward in the DC universe. So I'm like, this is cool. Let's see what she's doing in this time in her life. I was really, really surprised by this book. I don't mean that in a negative way or a positive way. I just didn't know what to expect. It didn't go in the areas I thought it would, you know? It just is good. It's interesting. I just didn't expect it to go there, and I think that's kind of cool. So first off, the creative behind this book, the writer and the artist, is Joelle Jones, and I absolutely adore everything she does. She has this right blend of just style in her writing and her art that it feels naturalistic and amazing. She has a very pulpy aesthetic, and I mean like those bright colors of like the retro age and like the atomic age and all that stuff. It looks really good. And her writing, I think, really lent itself well to this narrative in this story that we saw. So throughout the book, there is this narration that we don't really know who's narrating. My guess is it's going to be a character we reveal in the next issue. But we are following the story of Yara Fleur, and she is in the Amazons, and she's fighting all these big like creatures and like myths from Greek legend. And we're not really getting a reason as to why as the start of the book. You know, she's just slaying all these different types of creatures. We see that one of the ones she is fighting is a Hydra. So she's coming after the Hydra and she's trying to slay it. She's looking for her horse Jerry, who's a Pegasus. And the entire time the narration's like, in this time period and in this world, we needed a Wonder Woman. And Yara was the one that came through for us. So maybe we should see what she's got, is kind of what it's saying there. And it's like, okay, we're establishing that Wonder Woman isn't here, which is kind of interesting. We know Diana's not going to be in this book, and Diana supposedly is in the future somewhere. That's kind of a cool thing we are seeing. I like that idea. So Yara, she manages to slay the beast. She's fighting them all, taking them all down. The artwork is fantastic. It's gorgeous. The colors are great. Everything about this book looks great. So she's killed this beast. She's trying to cut the horn off a Hydra when this little woman, I think she's like a nymph or something, called Keapora, shows up, and she's like, hey there, Yara, what are you doing? You know, like, why'd you just kill this innocent creature? And Yara's like, well, I am gonna cut off the horn. I'm gonna give it to Hades in return for my sister, like my warrior sister who was killed. I'm getting her back. She's coming back to life. That's what I'm doing. And Keapora's like, well, that's a great idea, but you killed an innocent creature. Now, I know we have our differences, but if you're gonna just destroy this place that we call the Amazon, why don't you just come with me? I can get you to the Underworld, and we'll just go in there. And Keapora's kind of the start of where this book was going in a direction I wasn't expecting. A very kind of chibi anime look to that character, you know, like the big eyes, the big head. Not that it's bad, I just wasn't expecting that in this Wonder Woman book, so I'm like, okay, let's see where this goes. So they go to like this gateway that leads to the Underworld, and it's like a cute like subway system. There's like a little gatekeeper who's at like a post, and like Keapora's talking to him like, well, what happens if I upgrade to the premium plan? You know, what if happens to this, and what days can I get for this? And it's like, oh, that's cute, but Yara's getting really angry. So she decides, oh, forget it. And she like rips the toll booth open, and she's like ready to walk through. Keapora's like, I'm sorry for my friend. It's like her first time in the Underworld. And it's cute. Like, this wasn't the direction I was expecting. And now that I say that, I don't know what I was expecting. But this is very like, very closed off from the rest of like the DC world in a way I wasn't expecting. You know, Future State was like, geez, this is like big event that's gonna do a lot, and I wasn't expecting it to be like so focused on the character. I thought it'd be like more about the like universe and like the other characters. Now I know there's a bunch of other books coming out with these characters, so the fact we're getting a story about Wonder Woman that's just like, I think this one's 2 issues, was the story 2 issues? That's fun. This one is her getting to the Underworld. I'm going to assume the next one she's in the Underworld. I can get behind that. I don't think that's bad. I just didn't expect that to be what this book was about. Now that it is, I think it's good. I don't think it's bad. It's just different than what I was expecting. So they're waiting in line to get on the boat. You got like the whole Reaper situation. Give him your coin, you can get down to the Underworld. She doesn't have a coin. Of course, Kaepora didn't tell her that, so she has to steal one from a sumo wrestler. It kind of breaks into a fight. She wakes up Cerberus, and now it's like, okay, there's a lot of bad stuff going on here. How is she going to get out of this situation? And that's kind of where the book ends. Like, the Cerberus is coming to attack her. The sumo wrestler she steals the coin from is getting angry at her. This is different than what I think a lot of people wanted or were expecting from this book. Now, a strong part of this for me, like one of the best parts of this book, was Joelle's art. Because, God, it looked great. It's just so fluid and clean and crisp, and the backgrounds pop, and it's gorgeous, and Yara herself looks amazing. She really stands out in this world as being something unique compared to, like, the harsh colors we've seen with her before. I really enjoy that. It looks really good. Surprising amount of cleanness to her design. I really do believe that. And some of the other stuff about this book where it's like, oh, we're going to have like this cute system where the way to get to the Underworld's like a subway system. You know, there's like cute chibi looking characters. Well, that's not what I was expecting from this Wonder Woman book. I understand we're in like a different world, so I'm not going to complain about that being here. I think for the story, I can get behind it. I will say though, I hope this character returns because I think it's a different type of Wonder Woman than what we've seen before. There's something different about her than even like an Artemis or a Donna Troy. There's a little more like playful energy and like willingness to comply to things. And I think that's kind of cool. I liked it. I won't say it like blew me away. The artwork certainly blew me away, but the story, I'm like, this is a weird direction to go. I don't hate it though. I think that's a solid story that you're telling there. So I have no negatives about the story whatsoever. But overall, I'm like, this is fun. I'll read the next issue. I will definitely enjoy this, see what comes about it. We'll have to wait and see. But as it stands, it's okay. I think a lot of people will like it, and some people are going to be like, why does this even exist? I kind of hope this is the story we see whenever that CW show for her is going to be, but you never know. That could be something completely different. So, Future State Wonder Woman issue number 1, I am going to give a 8 out of 10. Now, thank you guys so much for watching this review. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. As always, you can check me out on Instagram, Patreon, Twitter, all that good stuff. And I will catch you in the next one. Have fun. Stay safe. Good luck.